No one can deny there is a lot happening right now. And not just one thing, not something you can focus on and understand and then move through, because it's constant. Everywhere we look, there's something else, something to pay attention to, something to care about, something that weighs a lot. And I think what's been sitting with me is how much we're actually taking in, not just seeing it, but feeling it. Because when you care, you don't just observe what's happening, you respond to it, even if that response is quiet. And that's where it gets complicated. Because a lot of what we're exposed to right now, we don't actually have a place to put it. You can't fix it, you can't just step into it, you can't change most of what you're seeing, but you still feel it. And when there's nowhere for that feeling to go, it doesn't just disappear, it stays with you. And after a while, you don't even notice how much of it you're carrying. You just start moving through life differently. And that's what I want to talk about today. Hi, loves. Welcome back to Amy's View Unscripted. I'm Amy, and this is Life in Motion, where we grow with intention, connect with purpose, and rise to meet our potential, moving the world forward by becoming who we're meant to be. There is a lot happening right now. And the hard part isn't just seeing it, it's that you care. You care about what's happening. You care about people. You care about things that are bigger than you, but you don't actually have a place to put that care. Because you can't fix it. You can't step in. And you can't change most of what you're seeing. So you're left with the feeling of it without an outlet. And that creates something really specific. Not overwhelm in the way we usually think about it, but something more subtle. It feels like helplessness. When you're aware, when you're paying attention, you're feeling what's happening, but you don't know what to do with any of it. And after a while, that starts to change how you move through your own life. Your energy can feel lower, your focus can feel scattered, and the things that normally feel simple, they feel heavier than they should too. Not because your life suddenly became too much, but because you're carrying awareness of things that don't belong to your day. And I feel like no one really talks about that part. That you can be affected by things that you don't have any control over, just because you're exposed to them. So maybe the shift isn't to stop caring. Maybe it's to recognize that caring doesn't mean carrying all of it. You can be aware. You can stay informed. And you can feel deeply about what's happening without asking yourself to carry the weight of it constantly. And I think what makes this feel different right now is the scale of it. Because we're not just experiencing our own lives anymore. We're experiencing pieces of everyone else's too. Things happening across the world. People we've never met. And situations we have no direct connection to. We still see them. We still hear about them. And we still feel something when we do. And there is nothing wrong with that. That's what it means to be human, to care, to respond, to feel something when something truly matters. But what's changed is how much of that we're exposed to. There used to be space and time between things, moments where something would happen, and then you'd move through your day without constantly being reminded of it. Now, there's no separation. It is one thing after another and another and another. And we're taking all of it in without ever really stopping to ask what we're supposed to do with it. And I think another part of what makes this so confusing is that it doesn't feel separate from you. It feels like something you picked up along the way. It just feels like you. Like your mood shifted and your energy dropped. Something in you changed. Because when you feel something, your body doesn't label it. It doesn't say where it came from or whether it even belongs to you. It just simply registers that feeling. So it gets internalized. And after a while, you stop questioning it. You just assume it's yours. And when that keeps happening, it starts to shape how you move through everything. Your patience gets a little shorter. Your energy feels inconsistent. And things that normally wouldn't affect you, well, they actually do. Not because you've changed, but because you are carrying more than you realize. So now you're responding to your life with a weight that didn't start there. And it makes everything feel heavier than it actually is. Not because life suddenly became too much out of nowhere, but because you're moving through it already holding so much. And that's where it gets misread. Because you don't always connect it back. You just feel tired or off or like something is wrong. So you try to push through it or fix it or explain it when really it might just be that you've been taking in more than you've had a chance to process. And when you start to see it that way, it changes the way you respond. Because now it's not about fixing yourself. It's about recognizing what's been happening around you and how much of it you've been holding on to. It's just a small pause, a moment to acknowledge I have taken in a lot. Not to analyze it, not to break it all down, just to recognize that what you're feeling might not have started with you, and that you don't have to keep holding all of it. Because you're not meant to carry everything that you're aware of. And I think that's the part that we're still learning. How to stay open and how to stay aware. How to care about what's happening, but without losing ourselves inside of it. Because compassion matters. Empathy matters. The fact that you feel something and the fact that you care, that you don't just look away, that's not something to lose. But caring about something doesn't mean you have to carry it with you all day. It means you let it matter in the moment that you are in. And then you let yourself come back to your life, back to your energy, back to what's actually yours to move through. Not shutting anything out, just not holding on to everything. Because you can care deeply and have compassion and empathy. You don't have to give everything a place to stay. You just have to remember where you belong. And thank you for being here, truly. I don't take your time or your presence lightly. And if this resonated with you, I would really love to hear your thoughts. So let me know in the comments what stood out or what you're taking with you from this week. And if you're finding value in these conversations, if they've been meeting you where you are or giving you something to sit with throughout your week, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't have to wonder when we're having our next conversation. Until next time, be kind to one another and take care of yourself too. Go be bright.